leave it just like it is. So anyway, what's going on, you guys? And it's Douglas Moon here, hanging out in my channel. I'm going to do a little bit of a good old-fashioned live stream with y'all. It has been 3 weeks since you looked at me. I'm just kidding. I know that was really corny. I'm not sorry, but it did happen. But that being said, it's been a couple days since I've hung out with you guys and did a live stream. Cannot tell you guys again how endlessly grateful I am for you guys' continued support, for everybody who's like a regular to the channel. It has helped me way more than you could possibly understand. What's up, John? Hola. Super happy to see you, my friend. Just want to check, as always, how the old audio's coming through. Again, I'm using the old cheap mic. Still working on what I'm going to be moving. I haven't decided if I'm going to do. What's up, Armand? What's up, buddy? I haven't decided if I'm going to do DJI or Rode mics yet, but I think I'm going to do Rode because a lot of people say that DJI is not the best, or they're great, but I don't know. It just seems like Rode's probably what I'm going to go with. But yeah, I have missed you guys. I thought I'd come hang out with you while I had a little bit of time to do so. These streams are not going to be quite as long as they used to be. Earlier in the day, I was able to go for like 3 hours. Nowadays, it's going to cap around an hour to an hour and a half. But that's okay because you guys are going to have plenty of videos coming your way. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I'm actually doing really good. Although there is something that I want to talk about. I've seen better things about Rode. I have too. Thank you, John, for like giving a little bit of backup there. So I actually was going to say there's one thing in particular that I wouldn't necessarily say like I was objectively okay. I was wrong about this one particular thing, and I've been curious about or wanting to take the time to explain it. So I am a proponent of always being very honest, truthful as our tastes change, as the things that we feel about certain things shift. So again, if you're new here, if you watch this back later, my name is Douglas Moon. This is my fragrance channel where I review fragrances all across the spectrum. I'm not a hype person. I'm not a dupes or cheapies person, although I do those and I appreciate certain ones. In general, I much prefer perfumery that was very original, very well thought out. It goes all across the board, but I respect all sorts of perfumery and I totally understand anybody's tastes. But here, I'm not sponsored, I'm not paid by anyone. I do what I want to do. I review the fragrances that I want to review and stuff that you guys ask me to review. I buy them all myself. So just letting that be known as a disclaimer if you're new here as well. Again, one more time, I'm Douglas Moon. This is my fragrance channel. And on this channel, when I do these live streams, not my review videos, when I do these live streams, it is a family-friendly environment. We keep it respectful. If you start making fun of people, trolling, whatever, you're going to get blocked from the chat. You're not impressing anybody. So I understand if you're going through stuff, hey, you're more than welcome to talk about that here. Other than fragrances, I like to think of this as a community. That's what I try to have here. And so it's definitely a place where nobody's going to be allowed to bully you or make fun of you if you do got stuff going on. But if your intention is to troll and crap like that, like I said, it's a family-friendly place, so no vulgarities. With all that being said, again, I'd love to know what you guys' thoughts are about fragrances. You're the man. God bless you too, Charles. I appreciate you taking the time to even stop through and say that. It means a lot to me. I probably don't have to throw myself under the bus like this, but I did just fart, and I don't know how good this microphone is at picking up ambient sounds. So if you guys heard that, I'm not sorry because I have IBS and it does happen. We all fart. It happens. I try to smell good. Doesn't always work. That's not completely true. To be frank, because I have IBS, my belly don't process things quite right. When I do toot, turns out normally it actually doesn't really have a smell. So I'm doing pretty good in that department. Just throwing it out there. Not that anybody asked, but like I said, I want you guys to get to know me. It's part of getting to know me, and I want to get to know you too. But yeah, other than again messing around, having some fun, if you guys stop by my live streams when I am doing them, you're more than welcome to tell me what you're wearing today, what your favorite fragrances are. I'm trying to build a little bit more of a collection of what you guys want to see me review as I try to continue to develop this channel. No one would have known. Okay, so my wife, I did not know, was watching right now. So her deciding to drop into the live stream from the other room when I'm talking about my farts, could not have seen that coming, but it is what it is, and she's probably not surprised. Text me about Odeon is my favorite cologne. That's awesome. The Cosmic Vision. I haven't smelled. Awesome name, by the way. I've not personally had the opportunity to smell that one. There's a lot of fragrances out there that I've never even heard of. So for me, again, I'm not sponsored or paid. So when I buy fragrances that I personally want to review, these are just ones that like have been on my radar or again, I look up to people like Aaron Terrence Hughes. So stuff that I've seen him talk about in the past and certain other people. That's kind of what I go for. But you guys like know that there's so many fragrances out there that I just have never heard of. So please don't try to ask me to review too many like dupes and cheapies because there's already enough people doing that. Not that there aren't people reviewing everything anyway, but I just would, I like it when you guys suggest stuff. It doesn't matter if it is cheap, but you get what I'm saying. Is Zertoff Nexus worth it? 100%. So first and foremost, you can find Naxos for a really good price, my friend, on discount sites. By the way, I do try to keep up with every single comment when y'all come through. This isn't about me being better than anybody or the dude across the screen. This is a community, so you guys please feel free to ask comments. Again, cannot stress enough. You got to keep it family friendly and respectful, or you will get blocked from the chat. It's not cool. We don't give a crap on this channel. But with that being said, so Lamal and Xerjoff's Naxos dry down to a familiar base, but they're completely different fragrances, and you will know that when you try them. So just throwing this out there, I might do a video. I will do a video about it myself at some point. There's a really nice young fella named Ra, R-A-A. I think it's Ra Fragrance. So go check him out because he did a video. I actually saw it and I enjoyed it. I watched the whole thing and I love shouting people out. Younger creators just like myself, not young, like I'm definitely getting older, but people who are smaller channels. If you are definitely passionate about what you do and you're not just a hype channel, I love giving you the opportunity to put yourself out there. So please feel free to take the time to promote. I have no problem with that as long as you're not spamming. I want to make this a community where we help each other out. I'm going to get to the rest of you guys' comments, which means you're going to unfortunately see the tripod wobble around. Again, this is not really a professional place. We just have fun. But throwing this out there to my buddy who did ask, I'm a rambler. If you don't like that, it's okay. There's lots of other channels out there who will probably entertain you personally. But if you don't mind a rambler, Scott O'Brien. Thought your name was Sent O'Brien. I can't perfectly see, but thank you for subscribing, my friend. I appreciate that. But so again, one more time. So Xerjoff's Naxos and Lamel, completely different fragrances. Just throwing it out there. They do have similar qualities with the tobacco, the honey feel, but with the lavender qualities that you get to a heightened feel that blends with the tonka and everything in Lamal Elixir. It's kind of got a bit more of a I don't know how to explain this, but there's a little bit more of a fresh quality to some extent, whereas there's a little bit more richness because of the citrus vibe going on with the honey and the tobacco running through. More honey forward, technically, in Naxos. But again, beautiful fragrances. They're actually in my top 3 favorite fragrances of all time, ironically. But yeah, absolutely totally good to have both of them. Here comes the wobbling part. Thank you, Armand, for your appreciation. Cedrat Bois is worth it, or is it basically just Aventus? So, just to be straight up with you, I don't really like the Aventus DNA anyways. I think it was very revolutionary when it was originally done. Then obviously everybody's done it. Cedrat Bois Intense is a interesting variation of its own form, but if that is a problem for you that is like Aventus, just being straight, it is very much like Aventus. So if that's not something you're looking for, then you probably don't want to go in that direction. It has like mild amounts of change to it, but not enough if that's not something you want. Hey Brian, super happy to see you. Hey Armand, thank you again for your support. I'm looking for a work cologne that isn't blue, if you know what I mean. I absolutely know what you mean. You work outside in the woods. There's a lot of women there trying to impress them without overdoing it. First of all, continue to be your awesome self. Hopefully, as long as you're just being you, no matter what fragrance you are or are not wearing, that will work. But with that being, because you want somebody obviously to like you. I'm not saying you don't know this, but again, as a dad, and one day potentially probably a grandpa of like 3,000 children, who knows? Not really. Just kidding. I hope not. But I do like to give people advice, not that it's warranted or that anybody cares, but that's what I do on my channel. But yeah, just throwing this out there. I would probably say something that's not blue, and I get what you're saying. I'm not a huge blue guy myself. I would say probably Versace Eros Flame. It's like blood orange with the original Eros Eau de Parfum and Parfum DNA. So it has a citrusy bergamot type of woodsy and creamy vanillic vibes, and very much regal, but not extremely so. Not too, and a very good price range. Versace Eros Flame, though, is blood orange with, like I said, that creamy woodsy feel. Very much everybody seems to love that one. So that's probably a good choice. Um, and I think probably for a similar price range, if you would like something kind of like that. By the way, just throwing this out there, I do spend a lot of time trying to make this stuff come across. I would say Paco Rabanne 1 million Elixir. I love that one. I don't care what anybody says. What's up, Brandon? Super happy to see you, my friend. CK1, nice choice. How do you feel about Burberry Touch? I think for certain people, especially younger folks, although again, remember, perfumery is subjective, so everybody's going to have opinions, and if you disagree with mine, that's totally fine. That's okay. I'm not a huge Burberry Touch fan. I think, but again, I like Sauvage. I love Paco Rabanne Million Elixir, so I like stuff that's a little bit on the more generic side. I think it's a great fragrance, but it's just not something I would choose for. So it's just my thoughts and opinions. But I think that for a younger person or whoever, it's totally fine for everyday fragrance. Oud wood, green Irish tweed, and a lot of parfums and Marley colognes. Hey, that's great stuff right there. I don't like green Irish tweed myself. I have done a comparison video in the past. A lot of people say it's like Cool Waters, Davidoff. I first faced it off against intense Cool Waters, but definitely, I think it's decent enough. But again, Creeds just don't have the best projections in the world these days. Prada alone, nice. Hey man, long time no see. What's up, John Vaughn? Super happy to see you. You're really genuine. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate that. By the way, I'm going to be reading kind of fast for just a second, just to keep up with you guys for a minute. Naxis feels like a really fancy fragrance. It already is, but Lamel to me is like a bad boy Naxis. That's not a bad description. Thank you, Brian, for your description. By the way, just want to encourage you guys again. If I ever miss your comments or if I get a little too talky, please feel free to help each other out. As long, again, you will be banned if you start trolling or acting like a douche. Don't do that. We don't, it's not the type of channel here. But as long as you're being respectful of other people, you're more than welcome to help each other out. You guys are more than welcome to communicate. Try not to spam because again, if I miss people's comments, it's not always great. But also, like Armand said, if you do enjoy your time here while you're hanging out, please feel free to. Oh, I would encourage you to hit the like button because it really helps these things grow. I hate to have to be that kind of person. I don't like the salesman mentality, but I do want my channel to continue to grow and to reach more of you guys so we can hang out and have fun. So it helps. So hit that like button if you want to help me out. If not, hey, that's okay. Like I said, there's more people out there for everybody. 1 million Royal, nice choice, my friend. What's a good dupe for imagination? I'm going to be honest with you, Adriana. Hopefully, I said your name properly. First and foremost, I have not tried Bond number 9 Harlem. So I have a rule of three on my channel. So again, just in case you guys don't know, I'm Douglas Moon. This is Douglas Moon Fragrance. This is my channel where I review all sorts of fragrances. Again, not a sensational top 10 this or that channel. I don't do, I'm inspired by people like Aaron Terrence Hughes and so forth. I don't do the whole gimmicky crap. I'm sponsored by Lattafa and all this stuff. That's not my thing. I buy stuff that I want to review or stuff that you guys ask me to. And that's just kind of the way I keep things here. So even though you got to remember though, fragrances are subjective, so my opinion is just mine. With all that crap, I just have to repeat during these streams when new people come through. Said if I haven't tried a fragrance, I won't give my thoughts on it because my channel's rule of three is, and I encourage you guys to try to do the same thing. First and foremost, please don't blind buy. I despise. I'm about to do my usual rant real fast, and then I will answer your question. Trini man, I will answer you in just a second. And by the way, my other friend Adriana, actually, I'll answer you real quick because I can be a little bit of a rambler. But with that being said, a good dupe for imagination. I'm not a Louis Vuitton fan. Just throwing it out there. I think that they and their dupes are quite a bit just unnecessary. The dupes definitely don't last worth a flip. And thank you guys for letting me know. Yeah, this silly little microphone, I forgot to charge it. But anyway, so the person who just asked me, DDORF, I don't know what fragrance that is. So if you could just kind of explain the whole thing. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys' assistance. Yeah, no, you guys didn't lose audio. I did, and I'm sorry about that. But yeah, my favorite fragrances, just to throw this out there, is Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Mal Elixir, Xerjoff's Naxis, and Aaron Terrence Hughes' Unicorn, but it's tied with Unicorn Elixir. I absolutely love it. I posted the other day if you guys want to go check out my reviews, and if not, that's okay, but I am one of those people who do one fragrance at a time reviews. I break down the notes, the pricing, the performance. So like I said, on my channel I have a rule of three, so I try fragrances 3 different occasions on my skin. Really test out. My skin sucks at holding fragrance, and again, everybody's hormones is different. Testing on the skin is vital if you really want to purchase something. Please, 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 please don't just trust off of a strip. That's ridiculous because Open notes, the top notes for fragrances, do not tell you the story or the journey of that fragrance. They will change throughout time and they will react to your hormones differently. So, just throwing that out there. But yes, unless I've tried a fragrance at least 3 times on my skin and I know how it projects, how it performs, the longevity, I've had other people around me give me their like honest feedback about how it's working for me, then I don't normally give my thoughts about that fragrance. On the other hand, if you are being respectful and you want to become a part of this community here when I do these live streams on my channel, if you do have experience with a fragrance, you're more than welcome to give your thoughts here in the comments, and I appreciate you guys very much. So, like right now, with Brian helping out Adriana, I very much encourage that. So, thank you guys so much for helping each other out. With that being said, is there really a fragrance you recommend that is really green but also woodsy, like oud wood? I would say, in that similar vein, some stuff like so not green. I'm not a very green fragrance person, so I like woodsy fragrances, which some people might correlate sometimes, but they are different. Green's a bit more herbal and fresh to some extent, but when I think green, obviously stuff like Easily Enough Greenly from Parfums de Marly comes to mind. I'm not the biggest proponent of that kind of stuff myself, just like I'm also not always the biggest person for blues. That's just my personal taste. But you're go Andrew. Thank you, buddy. But I would say I don't really have too many good suggestions for something a little bit green, but I would definitely say like if you can find a 10 ml bottle when they are available, depending on where you live in the world, of Aaron Terrence Hughes' Unicorn, that'll blow your mind like dust. It'll just blow the dust out your butt. I'll just say it like that. It's a horrible phrase. I probably really shouldn't have said that, but it will do that. If there's any dust inside of you, it will all go away. If you were able to smell that, it's just incredible. Or, although this isn't my personal exact favorite, I will say something in a sweeter, oudy kind of feel, similar to the oud wood, but less mature and sharp, maybe a little bit more dense, bright, and still like sweet, would be Oud for Greatness by Initio Parfum Prise, although that again is quite costly. But I don't have too many other suggestions than that off the top of my head, but you guys are more than welcome to help out. Whenever I use attar on or any Middle Eastern fragrances, I feel discomfort in my throat. What do you think? That's a little bit of a tough one. It just depends on the person, I would say. It doesn't necessarily happen to me when I try Middle Eastern. I know that a lot of times you guys are talking about the cheaper houses, like French Avenue and Latafa and stuff like that. I know that happens to some people. It's not necessarily that they have bad allergens in the stuff. It's just you are getting what you pay for, and a lot of those dupe companies or cheapy fragrance houses from the Middle East. Again, now Amouage and certain other companies from the Middle East are fantastic, good, high quality luxury fragrances. Even if not all of them are for me or for you. But those cheaper ones are definitely going to be using lower quality materials. That doesn't mean they're not going to have like performance and stuff, but you're just going to be getting what you pay for, and that's why I'm not really always the biggest fan or supporter of most of those companies, which is also why, unfortunately, I don't get sponsored, because I can assure you, well, also, it's not like I have the best views in the world, but I can assure you, even if I did, companies would not want to sponsor you if you're not willing to be a sellout, and that's a shame. You should be able to have honest companies who are willing to pay people and send people samples, not just to be a salesperson, but to give honest thoughts. Because to me, if your fragrances are worth buying, they should be able to stand on their own, and you should be comfortable with different people having opinions about your work. So, you ever see any fragrances that just are nonstop having people say that these are amazing, and you can feel like that salesman mentality is coming from all these channels? Steer away. They're just trying to get you to impulse buy crap. So, just throwing it out there. And it doesn't always mean cheap stuff. There's expensive stuff like that, too. FYI, not ignoring anybody in the chat, just driving. Hey, that's totally fine, buddy. Yosef, thank you for being here. You bought Eros Flame. How to know if it's fake or not? That's a tough one, because it depends where you got it from, my friend. I don't know what website you ordered it from, but I will say, try to check to see if it's got batch codes on it. I have never looked to see on the Eros line where they might keep... Oh, okay, yeah. So like Eros Flame, mine right here has the batch code right there in the middle going across with a little sticker. Perhaps you could check that for yourself and do a little lookup. So that way, if you ever see something like that, sometimes you could end up in situations. What does Casper the Mod smell like as a fragrance? Ghostly whispers. Definitely ghostly whispers, my friend. Most powerful imagination is Sillage, Al Haramane. Thank you guys for helping each other out. What do you think of men wearing fragrance marketed towards women? What's your name? Giat? Oh, is that Giat? Okay, that's funny. So, for me personally, I don't really care for the... How would I put this? So some of my favorite fragrances and some of the fragrances my wife, knows of me to wear, happen to be rose based, floral based. So for me, it's like an emotional connection because I've already loved flowers ever since I was small and perfumery because of my mom. But my wife, since long before we even met, was already working with flowers professionally in multiple different ways and all the way since we've been together. So flowers in general, and roses and so forth, peonies, everything makes me think of her. So for me, I wear all sorts of stuff that's normally for women, technically speaking, but in general, I will say this: the women's market in designer perfumery is trash. Not completely, but for the most part. Just as bad as like the TikTok and YouTube internet content creation market is just littered with like douchebags pushing sales, salesmen crap on you because they're paid to do so instead of being sincere. Again, that's not everybody. It's a blanket statement, but there are wonderful people out there. If you never come back to my channel, that's okay. It's fine. But please be careful who you're watching. But with that same concept, it follows over into women's perfumery. A lot of times these designer houses continue to just want you all to believe that women need to wear stuff that smells like cotton candy, stuff that smells like, well, again, rose. Rose Absolute is one of my favorite things in the universe. Jasmine. These are incredible, incredible things for men to wear. And I don't necessarily like when people try to push that this is marketed for this or for that. Anybody can wear whatever they want. Okay? They surely can. If you like something, if something connects to you, wear that. And I can tell you this: back when I was younger, before I started wearing men's fragrances, when my mom introduced me to perfumery and fashion, because she went to school for that, for fashion and stuff. When she introduced me to the perfumery world, and I fell in love with that as a sensory person, I used to only wear women's fragrances when I was very small. And guess what? Girls and women loved it. So definitely, absolutely nothing wrong with wearing whatever you want, my friend. And thank you for asking. Greetings from Chile. Thank you for being here, buddy. Hola. Can you tell me your perception about Reflection Man in 2025? I absolutely can. And I also can tell you guys that tomorrow I'm going to be busting open the bottle of the box of Reflections 45. So I'm absolutely losing my mind about that. But I love this. This is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. This is, if I'm correct, okay, so it just has the batch code on it, but I know that I think this was a 2024 bottle. Reflection is one of the greatest fragrances ever made. I want to wait until I redo and try out again the Reflections 45 once I get it. I probably, although I do want you guys to help me support the channel by checking out my review videos as I post them every week. With that being said, though, I might actually do the sampling of the Reflections 45 here on the channel during a live stream. Maybe not, but either way. But yeah, this is if you don't mind going either to a discounter, a trusted discounter, so Max Aroma, Fragrance Net, whatever is your preferable, trustable discounter. If you don't mind going that way, or you want to buy it full price, as I did, this is absolutely one of the greatest things of all time. So it's not for everyone. Buttery, delicious, beautiful, sweet iris, smooth, floral. I don't know. It's just powerful. It sticks to me like super glue. It's fantastic, but smooth, mass appealing Middle Eastern perfumery. By the way, I'm sorry if I'm missing you guys' comments. I'm just having a good time hanging out, and I like to express myself. So here on this channel, again, I'm Douglas Moon. This is my fragrance channel. Of course, me doing these live streams, the quality does not look nearly as professional as I'm trying to make my actual reviews look. But I just appreciate every last one of you guys who stops through and asks questions. I am a talker. It's what I do here. And like I said, if you're not okay with that, it's fine. There's so many other channels out there for you guys, and you can do whatever you want. But if you like sticking around, do hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy this time, I do this as often as I can each week. Hit the like button. It really helps my channel out if you enjoy this quality time together. I appreciate that. And I also want you to remember, like I said, this is an absolutely safe place. Everybody of all walks of life, beliefs, and so forth, as long as you're being respectful. If you're not, you're going to get blocked from the chat. But if you are being respectful, even if you want to talk about other stuff than fragrances, you are more than welcome to do that if you're going through some things. Like, again, I appreciate every single person that comes through here. And this is something I want to make a community out of and not just a thing. But Eros Flame is fantastic. Thank you for the honesty. Thank you for being here. How is Side Effect from Initio? It is incredible. It is powerful. It is very, very sweet, but not for everybody. It is mass appealing to an extent. Very sweet, bright, boozy tobacco feel, but I just feel like the sweetness level, kind of like Angel Share. I hate Angel Share. I think it's fantastic for what it is, but I think it's overpriced, and also it just makes me feel sick. It's too syrupy sweet, which is odd because I love Naxis, which is very honey forward, but this one's a little bit more synthetic sweetness of syrup, so I don't like that. But Initio is kind of like that middle mark between the two, and it's very sweet. boozy, syrupy, but yeah, I really enjoy it, and I think that a lot of people can enjoy it. Go to business that has frags to sample and compare. Absolutely. So this is one thing I also encourage very, very, very much. Please don't blind buy. If you can, go to any store. Saks Fifth Avenue has Initios and Killians and all sorts of stuff. If you can go to a Nordstrom, every Parfums de Marley you can imagine for men and women in quotations, and all sorts of stuff. Sephora, Ulta, any places you can go to. If you've got a niche perfumery store near you somewhere, that like La Perfumery, if you live anywhere near like Raleigh, North Carolina, like I used to, they have Zerjoffs and Sospiros and Mind Games and stuff. There are places out there that you can go sample stuff, and if you can't do that, go on certain websites. Again, I'm not sponsored. I love this company though. It's really been trustworthy for me so far when I use discounters. Stuff like Fragrance Net or Max Aroma. You can get these travel size bottles to sample pretty much anything that you would like to. So I highly encourage you guys to do that before you just throw your money away on pretty much anything. Now I know with dupes and cheapies that everybody's like psychotic about because all these douchebags on TikTok. I know that you can't really sample those too much, I don't think, but so you kind of got to spring that $20 to $50 to buy the actual thing. I know, but for what it's worth, still, just try to keep your sights on stuff. Just not buying just anything and everything. Just try to go out there and sample stuff if you can. At least to find out what types of stuff really fits for you. I used to not like leather in fragrances, and now Ombre Leather Parfum for the past year has been in my top 10 favorites of all time. Stuff like that. Reckless Leather by Amouage. Best Perry Ellis. I don't know MJ fragrances. I've never tried any of those, but thank you for being here. By the way, just throwing this out there again. I don't know if you're a fragrance reviewer, but feel free to promote yourself. Just do it respectfully. Don't spam. But any of you guys who are trying to get into this type of world, I really do want to help you out. Again, I'm not famous or like huge or nothing, but as I'm developing this community, I really want to help everybody out who's trying to like grow yourself, because I know it's hard. It's very hard to push and get out there. So other than encouraging you to live stream, please comment yourself and put yourself out there as long as you're passionate about what you do. If you're trying to be another one of these sensational turds, then I don't really support that. Thought I was the only one who noticed this. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Have you smelled Latent Exclusive by Parfums de Marley? So I've had that for quite a while, and yes, Scott, it's one of my favorites. I actually, personally, like the original Latent more, but I love them both. I think they're fantastic, and definitely, 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 Latent Exclusive is a wonderful fragrance. Actually, one that I got my eyes set on now, I've smelled all of them at this point. Every Parfums de Marley other than Obadon or whatever it is, I can't remember, and Godolphin. But almost every other Parfums de Marley I've either owned or have smelled at this point. And one that I have not owned yet, but I do want to get, even though my wife, for some reason, thinks it smells like crushed ladybugs. I don't know. That's the way she sees it. But I'm going to get Cologne. A lot of people don't seem to like that. I enjoy it, personally. My favorite rose fragrance is the Noir 29. I had to check that out, Bossy Spaghetti. By the way, just want to throw this out there. I don't know if I rambled too long and you're not here anymore, but I like your name. Bossy Spaghetti, that's fantastic. Bro is Dahmer. Very funny, Ryan Stansfield. I've heard it like 1,000 times. I totally, totally get it. The glasses and all that stuff. People feel that way sometimes, yes. That's probably, now that I'm actually thinking about it, even though that joke's been made a lot amongst my friends in the past or what have you, now that I'm actually thinking about it, it's very possible because of the Evan Peters TV show that might be why sometimes when I'm out in public, little children who, well, hopefully they don't know about their show, but some people look at me very like uncomfortable. Who knows? Follow your nose to Instagram where Andrew does more. I appreciate you, Brandon, for helping out, trying to continue to support and push some stuff for me. How close is Reflections to the new Gucci Elixir? Or the better question would be, not trying to knock you here, absolutely, you did not try to knock that, but how close is the new Gucci Elixir to Reflections? I'm just messing with you. So, technically speaking, the Gucci Elixir is very much kind of in that fabric softener type of feel, but it's very much kind of that iris, that buttery, as I think, that fresh floral buttery iris type of feel. It's actually made me laugh because the new Gucci Guilty Elixir is almost like just a designer knockoff of Reflections Man EDP and Le Mal Le Parfum by Jean-Paul Gaultier. It's kind of like, it definitely is far from unique. Problem is, when you're doing like an iris core, or orris as it can be called, an iris core fragrance, there's not a lot you can really do with that. It's like if a fragrance tried to be super forward cardamom and like an explosive cardamom fragrance, you're sort of going to get just another Sauvage elixir, depending on how it's done. So I actually really loved Gucci Guilty Elixir when I first smelled it until I realized, oh, wait just a second. Okay, so this is something I already like, so I don't need this. Truth is, what shampoo do I use? Head and Shoulders, because I've got a very bad skin problem. So I have multiple dermatitis issues. So with that being said, I actually use like a medicated shampoo. So I'm just throwing it out there. You asked, how much do you think all this fragrances cost all together? I don't know. To be honest with you, some of them came from discounts. A lot of them were like full price bought. I've been working at this because I am a fragrance reviewer. To be honest with you, I don't know how much all these cost. But I will say this, and I'm not saying this because I do know, and I'm just not saying. But just being straight, if I did know the actual like full amount for how much all this is, I wouldn't think it would be right to say that, because I feel like it would come off in some sort of, I don't know, douchey way. So, but I sincerely actually don't know how much all this was. Women love Eros Flame. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. What's the worst fragrance you own? Smells like. So you asked me what's the one that smells like doo-doo water. It's funny you should say that. Again, if you like this, please take no offense. It's my opinion, and that's okay. We're allowed to disagree. But Hayat by Xerjoff. Xerjoff is my favorite fragrance house other than ATH and Amouage and Jean Paul Gaultier. And it is the cypre oil plus the way they did oud. So I love oud, especially depending on how it was done. Hayat by Xerjoff, which is supposed to have a cheesy oud quality. I don't like oud as being too much of the top thing. I like it when it's more reeled back and blended with other things to give it a smoothness, not a sharpness. And Hayat by Xerjoff actually smells like some type of goat cheese that's been left out in the sun too long, and it makes me really upset. I actually, during a live stream not very long ago, almost threw up when I was trying to re-smell it. Just throwing it out there. So, that's just me. Smells like doo-doo water. I love Side Effect, but it's definitely not for everyone. You are correct, my friend. They are all very on his self. I don't know that, especially in the high heat situations. I wish I had that much colognes. No, you don't. I understand the idea, but I only have all these because I do reviews. I 100% do not recommend people trying to get like this because it's useless. Fragrances is not something that just had to be a douche. Fragrances is something, again, I cannot, I don't care how you guys feel about this because this is my channel. I can say what I want. I can do that. I cannot stand all these stupid douchebags on TikTok and YouTube who are, again, I know they want to make that money, and don't get me wrong, they're making that money, but I cannot stand all this like, this fragrance, this dude, Vulcan Feud, and this fragrance by this French Avenue or whatever, and this fragrance lasts 12, 15,000 hours or whatever. Oh, yeah, you got to have the newest this and the newest this or whatever. This is a dupe of Bulgari Outer Space Galactic. It doesn't really matter, dude. It doesn't matter. You don't need to have the newest thing. Feeding off of you guys' impulse buying is pathetic. We need to be focused on the fragrances that actually matter to you personally. You need to treat perfumery as what it is. It's a way to express yourself. Not an addiction. It's not okay to actually encourage people's addictions. It is not. I'm sorry, but it's not. And if your whole gimmick is to encourage people's addictions for a buck, you're a jerk. You are a certified Douglas Moons checked off douche. Just throwing it out there, and if you disagree, you don't have to stay around here. That's fine. There's lots of them out there for you. But there's also lots of channels who really care about perfumery and care about using perfumery to express yourself, to make memories with you and those around you, special moments in time through scent, and that's what perfumery is for. So just throwing it out there. Not attacking you, buddy, who commented, by the way, about wishing you had all these colognes. I'm just throwing this out there. You absolutely, nobody should want all these. It's just ridiculous to have this unless you are doing fragrance reviews and you can purchase things responsibly. So again, feel how you want to about that. I know like a lot of people stopped watching when I just said everything I just said, and that's just kind of the way it goes because a lot of people, unfortunately, are looking for people just to kind of encourage them to keep buying that next new stupid cheap crap instead of saving up your money and having fragrances that actually connect to you as a person. Okay, you don't have to wear with the newest, most popular thing. It just is what it is. I like blind buying because if I don't like it, I'll just sell it on Macari. I mean, if you're making that money back, that's your personal choice. But it's definitely, depending on the price point you go, not the best thing to do. Have you smelled the new Creed? I don't know which one you're talking about, but I have not. Armand, thank you for having coming through. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Mike, thank you too. Well, super fragrance like Ganymede? I'm actually not a big fan of Ganymede, to be honest with you, but it's just for certain particular reasons it just doesn't mesh well with me. But be a super unique fragrance, though. Hmm. I guess by unique, are you meaning that literally barely anybody's wearing it? Because that's really tough to come by because there's all sorts of niche communities out there in fragrances. But if you're talking about something that's like, you're going to stand out. First of all, very micro amounts of the population actually wear fragrances, especially ones other than just like your typical Sauvage, which I do enjoy. But I would say if you're into this kind of thing, Interlude or Black Iris, Interlude Black Iris by Amouage, definitely going to send you towards something like Ardent, which I talked about the other day by Boadicea the Victorious. This is all coming down to how much you're willing to spend, by the way, because these are a little pricey. But if Ganymede's something for you, this shouldn't be too much of a problem. Amouage's Reflection, honestly, I would say going down the road of Guerlain, L'Homme Idéal Extreme, Rose Incense by Amouage, something like that. There's all different sorts of options out there. Perry Ellis 360 smells like old school. Just got Travel Spec D&G the one today. It smells very nice. I do like the one Intense. Got to go. Have a good night, John Vaughn. Have you put your nose on any day 3 fragrances? I have not. Big fragrance fan. One of my faves is Purple Label. That's awesome, buddy. I've seen your first video about having passion for fragrance or just scents, and I'm 34. I'm loving fragrances from a youngster. Hey, that's totally cool. I appreciate you being here, buddy. Yeah, I actually, well, I'm not going to get down on that because it's like completely unrelated to this, but I'll talk about it another time. But no, thank you. I appreciate that. Definitely don't hear people say that they like my look too very often, like talking about, I guess, the way I dress or something like that, or maybe it might be the tattoos. I'm not entirely sure, but whatever it is, I appreciate that. We're all welcome to appreciate one another and whatever here. Do you recommend Scentbox? I've never tried it. I think my mom uses that, or is it Scentbox or Scentbird? I don't know, but I've actually never tried any of that stuff. Jeff, is that you? Oh, there's my mom, Donna Lane. Everybody say hey to my mom. Just throwing this out there. I'm always telling you guys to be respectful to each other or you're going to get blocked from the chat. 100%. If you're ever rude to my mom or my wife, that's obviously going to happen. No duh. But everybody say hey to Donna Lane. She's my mom and I love her. Is Reflection closer to JPG Le Parfum? Um, that's a toughie. So, sort of. Not really. No, actually, I would say it's a little bit closer to Gucci Guilty Elixir. Le Parfum is just another iris fragrance, but it's definitely different. It's not redundant to have them both. But I would say it is a little bit closer to Gucci Guilty Elixir. Lots of Zerjoff fragrances are overrated. Hey, I mean, that's your personal opinion. To me, most Zerjoffs are fantastic. There are some. I did try the new Duran Duran fragrances the other day, and I'll be completely honest with you, I did not like them. Either one of them, actually. But most Zerjoffs, for me so far, have been absolutely immaculate, and they're just wonderful. But I get it. Everybody's opinions are different. Boucheron are the 2 worst fragrances I've ever owned. I don't know, I smelled those. What's your favorite winter fragrance? Mine's La Mal Elixir. I would say I wear La Mal all year long. But for me personally, I would say winter fragrance. I'm probably going to be wearing the Unicorn, Aaron Terrence Hughes a lot, Leighton, or Herod, Leighton, Carlisle, Leighton exclusive, Haltane by Parfums de Marly. Oud Wood, I'm going to do that. Tom Ford Noir Extreme. A lot of these I wear all year anyway, but especially looking forward to doing it. Sauvage Elixir, I don't normally wear it except for those times of year, so I'm looking forward to wearing that. Male Elixir is a good choice. I haven't tried Najim yet. I'd like to. Would you ever try Secretions Magnifique? So, I see a lot of people try that, and I know it's all over the spectrum about whether people are like, this is so gross, or it's whatever. I don't actually, I would totally try it. My issue is I don't want to pay for it. So, because again, I'm not sponsored. I buy all these when I do my reviews. So, if there's something like Secretions Magnifique that's like a gimmick thing, unless it was like guaranteed, since I'm a YouTuber and I'm trying to grow this channel, unless it was like guaranteed going to get me like a good amount of views and so forth, and like ad revenue and stuff, which it probably wouldn't. Then at this point, because it's already been done so much, I probably won't buy that one. I would try it, but I'm probably not going to get it. They're all addicted to Star Trek. Guess they overpowered in excitement. Hey mom, dude. I appreciate you guys saying hey to my mom. Yeah, Scentbird is what my mom uses. If JPG La Mela Parfum is my favorite designer, What would be the closest niche you think I like? Well, straight up off the rip, if that's your favorite designer and you want something very similar to it, even though it's niche, but like obviously not quite the same, but definitely Reflections. Reflections 45, cranking it up a notch. But I'm gonna do something a little bit different actually. I would say Naxis by Zerjoff, but Torino 23 or 21 by Zerjoff would be ones that I think you would actually really, really like. Um, Let me see. It is tough sometimes to think when it comes to that kind of stuff what might be somebody's like. I don't know how you would feel about this, but maybe just maybe Amawaj's Rose Incense might be something good for you, depending on if you like that kind of thing. Is this live or recorded? Fasundo Vigant. This is sorry if I said that improperly. Very very sorry. Um, So for me, this is I don't know why I would answer it that way. This is live. This is live right now when I do these live streams. I never pre-record live streams. I don't know. People do that, don't they? I'm not sure how that works, but yeah. Just throwing this out there, by the way. So since I am still working on with this channel, my posting schedule, like I said, I've done a couple of putting feelers out there. Did a couple polls. So you guys have said that you like a chunk of you guys want me to post on Wednesday nights. There's also a littler chunk, but still a chunk, who wants me to do Thursday night when I do my weekly review of fragrances. So every week I do one fragrance review and then 2 to 3 live streams where we all get to hang out like this. So last week I posted Aaron Terrence Hughes' Unicorn. I really would appreciate if you guys would go watch that. Please watch it as long as you're willing to, because watch time really helps the channel. Hit the like button and leave a comment. Those things are very important for YouTube to think that my video is worth a crap and worth suggesting to other people. If you only watch my video for like 15 seconds, that destroys it. It absolutely demolishes the video. If you watch it the rest of the way, very much helps out. So I love to have some. Right, unfortunately, I'm here in Texas. Well, hey, I will continue to refer that. What's your fragrance of the day? Let's talk. You got me. But yes, by the way, Dank Nugs, funny name. So I do, in fact, have. I don't have, but I do like sandalwood. So I have a friend who ordered a bottle of Stronger With You sandalwood, and it's not necessarily my rule of 3 that I normally have, where I've tried it on my skin multiple times, but he has, and I think it's actually fantastic. Although not for everyone. It's got a little Middle Eastern feel to it, but I think it's fantastic. Mr. X, I'll answer you in just a second. And I don't know what time it is there, so potentially Guten Abend. We and my wife actually just agreed we're finally going to start. I don't remember hardly anything. Like, I can understand if people speak to me, but I can't speak good. I'd be too embarrassed. But me and my wife went to Munich and Nuremberg and Tegernsee for our honeymoon 2 years ago, as of a month from now. And also, it's like our favorite place in the world, so we're going to be learning German again. We just stopped for a while because we got way too caught up with stuff. But anyway, I actually really enjoy Tom Fords. I know a lot of people say that they're overrated at this point because of quality from Estee Lauder taking over and so forth. Performance is not there, which is true for some of the fragrances, but definitely not all of them. I have an updated bottle as well of Tom Ford, and it still performs on me great. It's not super loud like it once was, but it still stays, and that's all I really want. And I do love Black Lacquer. Ebon Fume is really good. I love Tobacco Vanille. Tom Ford's Ombre Leather Parfum is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. It's in my top 10. And then Noir Extreme. Like, I love a lot of Tom Ford fragrances, to be honest with you. Also, real quick, to my buddy. So I will throw this out there. Except for non-alcoholic beers, I am 7.5 years sober. I very much encourage people who are going through struggles with like alcohol addiction, what have you. I have 11 years of addiction myself. So I do like non-alcoholic beers because I love the taste of beer. But with that being said, I don't drink or smoke or do any of that stuff. So not to say, I'm not against anybody out there who enjoys the occasional drink or whatever. And I'll definitely, if I'm ever out in Texas, hang out with you, my friend. What's your actual name, just so I know, so I can address you properly? I always love getting to know you guys' real names. So, yeah, to my buddy talking about loving to hang out and talk about fragrances, one day, maybe we'll be out there, me and my wife will come to Texas or something, be out there for some reason. And if so, hey, listen, I can never stress this enough. Whether I'm back in Germany or traveling somewhere else, if that ever gets to happen, or wherever. If you ever see me in public and you know for sure it's me, don't go screaming at strangers. But if you ever know that you actually see me somewhere, like if you're here in North Carolina, please feel free to come say hey. Please don't be shy. Or if you are a shy person, don't worry. I'm really it's something I love to do. My dad always raised me to kind of help people through that, so I'll make it a comfortable experience. But please feel free to come up and say hey if you ever see me. I'd love to get to know you guys personally. I know it's a cheaper scent, Burberry Weekend. I've never smelled Burberry Weekend. Any recommendations similar or citrus? So, definitely Eros Energy. I actually really like that one. I recently was all about Club de Nuit Intense Pure Parfum for like a more vintage thing, but actually I kind of booted that out. I'm gonna be honest with you, I booted that out for Eros Energy because it's in that same vein, but for once actually different. It's got more of a lemon heads candy feel to it, and it's fantastic. Or the original Eros Parfum or Eau de Parfum, bright bergamot citrus with woodsy creaminess to it. I hate that word, but it does do it justice. And if you want like a true to the core lemon scent, Renaissance by Zerjoff will get you there if that's your thing. Um, why is it hard to wear sandalwood? Because it always walks off. That's funny. Bro, any suggestion under $50? So again, I'm not necessarily a cheapies and dupe person, but by the way, anybody who's coming through here, just to reintroduce myself, I know you guys are getting kind of behind right now, but let's just go ahead and do this real quick. I'm Douglas Moon. This is my fragrance channel. I'm from North Carolina. Um, I buy all these fragrances. I'm not sponsored. Not that I won't accept a sponsorship from anyone as long as they are aware that, and believe me, I've had the rude emails, responses. If a company is aware that I'm going to review your fragrance sincerely, I don't give a crap if you offer me however much money. That's not what I'm here for. You cannot pay me enough to lie for you. And it doesn't matter how many fragrances you send me. I like to tell people the truth because, again, now, remember, fragrances are subjective. My opinion might be different than yours. You might love Louis Vuitton. I don't like Louis Vuitton. That's okay. I hate Hawas. You might love Hawas. That's totally okay. But, again, I'm always going to shoot it straight with you guys. So if you're into that kind of stuff, if you're cool with people doing one fragrance at a time reviews where I really break it down and discuss it from my personal stance, please subscribe. Please check out my video reviews. Like it, comment, all that stuff. But if that's not your thing, that's okay. Everybody's welcome to come through or go. Hello, Tiana. I hope I said your name properly, but thank you for being here from Croatia. That's actually a place I would like to go one day. But yeah, so as far as fragrances, if you're still here, my friend, for under $50, um, I would probably have to say, so Hod Lodge's Vanilla Dunes is pretty good. To be honest with you, an incredible amount of fragrances. So this is a company that I have talked to, and they're actually awesome guys. So the people over at Sensual Obsessions, I've had really good experiences with their fragrances so far. They do like dupes but with a twist, and I like that. I like if you're not trying to be an exact copy. They do have exact matches, but if you're trying to do your own thing, I do like that. And their Eagle Star is really good for a good price. What is it? Mind Al Dahab by Arabiat Prestige. Also, if you are interested in the, if you like Portrait of a Lady, I know I'm just throwing you guys out there some stuff. But again, as somebody who doesn't really care for dupes, there are some good ones. If you like something like Portrait of a Lady, Unique Portrait, Identity Unique Portrait by, what is that, Fragrance World? Paris Corner. Oh, and here's a fragrance I really love. Boy, oh boy. I hate this bottle, just throwing this out there. But I love this fragrance. This is Toy Boy. Machino's Toy Boy. I like cucumber water, stuff like that. And this is rose with like a cucumber water type of feel. And it's just awesome. That's not for everybody. Just throwing it out there. But this is like $30 or $40. And it's extremely powerful. And it lasts all day. It's an eau de parfum, but it really does. It has really good projection and longevity. And it's not very usual for something that quite that fresh. But I love it. But yeah, you're from Frankfurt. Awesome. That's a place that I actually would like to check out one day. Strong Northeast freaking awesome. Yes, it is, my friend. I'm sorry, by the way, that these comments are getting backed up. I just am a talker, as you can see. I'm sorry if that's not your thing. Any opinion on Versace Dylan Blue? Well, Swain Lane, that's not quite my type of fragrance. I think that for a younger person, or anybody if you like it, but whatever. Don't worry about my opinion. But I think that if you're a younger person and you're trying to get into what, like, is trying to cosplay, I don't say that, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like a younger man's getting into fragrance. Good price, decent enough performance for an eau de toilette, which you would rather normally have a stronger concentration as more you get into perfumery. I think Dylan Blue is decent for that, but I'm just not into that black peppery type of thing in that kind of way. Weird for me, ombre leather is my most hated fragrance. Now, I do want to ask you, Scott, is that the ombre leather parfum? Or are you talking about the ombre leather eau de parfum? Because I actually am not a huge fan of the eau de parfum, but the parfum is one of my absolute favorite things in the universe. Louis, Cosmic Pepper. It's funny you should ask about that, because I actually have that, and I actually kind of like it. I like cosmic pepper. I like oud blue notes and oud lemon mint. I think oud, is that what it is? Lemon mint? But cosmic pepper is actually a pretty interesting fragrance. It's very strong, very consistent, linear, but it does have good performance for actually. Like, a lot of Manceros have pretty dang decent performance. What's your favorite 3 date night fragrances, niche or designer? I would say probably Blue de Chanel. By the way, this changes all the time. I just want you guys to know, like, it depends on how you feel that day. So right now, I would say a good date night. If me and my wife were going to go on a date night, it would maybe be Blue de Chanel Parfum. My usual, I love Zerdjoff Naxis or Jean Paul Gaultier's La Mel de Parfum, La Mel Elixir, definitely. Because it's still the back end of summertime, maybe Le Beau de Parfum or Paradise Garden. Maybe actually Oud Wood would be nice. I still like Oud Wood. I love it. Thank you, super helpful. Well, Benjamin, thank you for being here. I'm super sorry, by the way, if I'm missing you guys' comments. I try to keep up with you guys' comments. So I've been getting more comments than usual as time has gone, as I've been doing these live streams and getting more subscribers and people coming through. I've been getting more traffic, which is an awesome thing for my channel, because it is very hard to be a channel where you don't sensationalize stuff and you continue to get views. Turns out, if you want your channel to grow, the biggest, fastest way to do that is to be another one of those, like, look at this Hawass, look at the newest Hawass, look at the newest Hive Lodge. I do like some of the stuff by those houses, but I'm just not that kind of thing, and hopefully you guys are being sincere and passionate about your channels, but it's hard to grow. And I really do want my channel to grow. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, yes, I'm serious about the fragrances, but yes, I would love it if my channel would continue to grow. Just throwing it out there. You know, not trying to complain, but it'd be awesome. So just throwing it out there. But with that being said, when you guys come through and comment and ask me questions, I really appreciate you with all my heart. So I try to be very sentimental and very sincere on this channel. This is my place. This is where I want you guys to feel like you can get to know me. Really, ask me any questions you want. Again, as long as you're being like serious, really respectful. Like, if you're, what I mean by that is, ask me anything you want. But if you are asking something on purpose to be a jerk, then I'm not going to answer. But other than that, you can ask me anything about pretty much any situation. And I want you guys to get to know me. So when you guys are like appreciating this time together, that means a lot to me. What does this say about member? Hold on, real quick. What's not too strong of a smell but lasts most of the day at work? So that's an interesting one. I would say actually, so when you say too strong, I think of something that's kind of like in your face versus like good performance. Honestly, I always try to steer people back towards Eros Eau de Parfum or Parfum by Versace, because it's like bergamot, which is one of the greatest things in the world, and it's just really good lasting staying power. Really sticks for people for the most part. Club de Nuit Iconic and Hermes, nice. Harman Eau de Parfum. I've never tried any Alexandria fragrances. Rose is not for you. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, Brandon. Valentino Intense. Yo, how are you doing? Hi, Jan. I'm doing fantastic, and I hope I said your name properly. I'm sorry if I didn't. And thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys are doing good. What's a good homage to start with? A good homage to start with would be, by the way, I see something about a member thing. I'm still trying to scroll through and keep up. I don't know what that means just yet, because again, I just started being able to have like members or whatever that is on this channel, so I'll check that out here in a second. But do you recommend Jean Paul? 100% Colton. That's one of my favorite fragrances, fragrance houses of all time. Jean Paul Gaultier's La Mel Elixir, incredible. Just want to throw this out there. Don't let any douchebags on the internet and Reddit or wherever convince you. You're going to hear me say douchebag a lot on this channel. That's one of my favorite phrases to say about turds who are trying to sell you stupid crap through their channels or whatever. But especially people who try to convince you. It's okay if you think something's overrated personally. But if you ever see people try to like have these, there's whole Reddit pages saying like, Sauvage is overrated and stupid and nobody should buy it anymore. Everybody's wearing Sauvage. I haven't smelled hardly anybody wear Sauvage, and I go to very populated places on my travels. And I can assure you, people love saying things are overrated. People like to have opinions about fragrances they haven't even really smelled. That's just the nature of the online fragrance community. It's toxic. How you like that? Something on the internet's toxic. I just want to encourage you guys. Not that anybody said anything's overrated. I can't help myself. There's a way I think about stuff and I say it. I'm sorry if that's not okay for you. But I love Jean Paul Gaultier, and I'm just throwing this out there. I have heard somebody before say Jean Paul is overrated. That's fine if you think that. Not you. That's fine if other people think that about this or that or the other. But don't ever let anybody convince you that something's overrated. Go try it for yourself, and if you like it, you like it, and that's all that matters. If I say again that I hate Hawass, but you love Hawass, tell me I'm a big dum-dum. I don't care. That's okay. Do you prefer Aqua de Joe EDT or EDP? For me, actually, I do like the Profundo and the Parfuma, I think it's called. Although, this was hyped up, but even though I don't like Aqua de Joe for me personally, I don't like it. It's not something I would wear. It's okay. I really want to encourage you guys on your fragrance journey as you get deeper into perfumery. Expose yourself to enough notes and different types of fragrances so that you can learn how to say that this thing right here was made extremely well, but I don't like it. We should learn to do that. You should get used to being able to appreciate when something was made well, but you don't like it. So with that being said, the new Aqua de Joe elixir is fantastic. I actually think it was made extremely well. I would recommend it to a lot of people, whether Parfumo, Profundo, whatever. But I don't like it. I would never wear it. Um, what is this though? You are a member? That's awesome. So Scott, I don't know what that means. I don't know how that works. Because when I set all that stuff up, I just kind of was going at it. But that's like an insane to me. I cannot thank you enough, Scott, for becoming a member because you're the first member I've ever had. That's cool. I like to think of every last one of you guys on my channel as being members of this because you're part of it. I don't need you guys to ever pay me no money because, again, I want to earn money from this channel. Again, like, you know, it's a very hard thing to, like, a slow build, a slow thing. But with that being said, anybody who's here, I think of you all as members of this community hanging out with me. So thank you. But Scott, like, becoming an actual member, thank you so much. I really appreciate the fact that you felt like even doing that. Seriously, I can't tell you enough how much it means to me. Because fragrances is my favorite passion. Other than comic books and reading, like fantasy and movies, like me and my wife are avid movie goers and love watching movies at home. Other than film and stuff, making videos and talking about fragrances is my favorite thing in the world to do. And so, the fact that I can do this, and any of you guys even appreciate this time together, really hit. Like I sometimes when I'm like praying or spending time alone, I do actually like get emotional about this. So I just want you guys to know, even if you never come back to my channel again, thank you. Thank you for having spent this time with me and stuff. It means a lot to me. I am going to be ending the stream soon, but I do want to run through these questions real quick. Where do you get most of your fragrances? Either directly from the stores or directly from their websites of these companies, trying to give like respect to the perfumers and so forth because they got bills to pay, or stuff like FragranceNet and Max Aroma have always been pretty trusty for me. Howdy, Joshua. Thank you for being here. But thank you, Brandon, for being here. Can you send me a free nice fragrance you don't wear anymore? Corey, I wish I could. So I know this is going to sound like a cop-out because you don't know me personally like that. But in all sincerity, there's most of these fragrances you see here, I still haven't even filmed reviews for. And even after I do them, I might do that at some point. I might start trying to send stuff or like samples or what have you to people or whatever. But I do buy all these myself and I do them for the video and stuff. So when I do give stuff away, which I do, I don't ever make my friends or family pay for things, but I normally kind of try to give stuff away as a gift. And the stuff I won't give away is because I don't think it's that great. So the only thing that I would probably send you for free is stuff that, if I was going to do that at this moment, would be stuff that I don't think is all that worth having. And so that's not fair. And I wouldn't want to do that to you. Just throwing it out there. Now, if I ever do get sponsored by a company who is allowing me to tell whether or not I think one of their fragrances is this or that, and like be sincere, and they start sending me free stuff, then in that case, I might start doing that. So, just letting that be known. Which Blue de Chanel? For me personally, Louis, the Parfum edition is my favorite. Oh, Blue de Chanel. Thoughts on Eros Flame versus Eros the blue bottles? So Eros Flame is absolutely incredible. It's completely different. It's got the core in the back end, but the top note, so the blood orange versus bergamot with citrus, definitely different. But the EDP and then the Parfum is my favorite of the Eros, and then the Flame is my other favorite. Zerdroff Naxis, absolutely Enoch. It's one of my favorites of all time. Prada Ocean EDT is nice for the office. That is true. By the way, I'm sorry if I ever get too derailed and I screw up one of you guys' comments if I forget. Is the parfum concentration the strongest? So, Joshua, I'm assuming that you're talking about amongst like all the categories. So here's how this works. If you ever see something that says eau de cologne or cologne, so a lot of men, especially in America, call fragrances cologne, but that's not right. It's just not. I like to use, even though a lot of people think this is stupid, I use perfume or parfums or just fragrances. I use fragrances a lot. But every fragrance is a perfume, technically, a perfume. But, just throwing this out there. Somebody just sent me a gift? No way. Dude, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't know what that means because, again, I'm still new to this kind of stuff. But thank you. Seriously, that means a lot to me. I appreciate that. What does that mean? What is a gift? What is it? Hold on, I'm gonna get back. Sent a marshmallow. That's fun. I like that. Cool. So, just answering this real quick. So, here's how this works. If you see cologne, that's typically normally going to be the absolute weakest concentration of alcohol versus fragrance concentration. Then, if you see eau de toilette, or you might see cologne intense, then you're going to see eau de toilette. And then you're going to see, and if you want me to get into the percentages, we can do that too. But then you're going to see eau de parfum, and then parfum. And then with parfum, there's also parfum intense at times, where they crank it up just a little. So certain houses like Aaron Terrence Hughes, his parfum or extract de parfum, if you see extract de parfum instead of eau de parfum, his is like around 35% concentration. Some fragrances are really crazy. Amawage's Interlude 53 means this is 53%. It's very viscous. Compared to the alcohol blend, it is 53% concentration. That means it's extremely concentrated. And then also, like I've got 43, Reflections 43 coming in, or 45 coming in tomorrow. And so that one as well, extremely powerful, 45% concentration. Here's the thing I want you to understand though. Perfumery is chemistry. Not all are made the same. Not all are made to perform the same. Sometimes you might buy a very expensive and extremely high quality fragrance. So you might get a Tom Ford or certain other fragrances that costed quite a bit, but don't perform the way you might have wanted them to without knowing your fragrances and not knowing. Now, this does not excuse them all, but this is the truth. There are going to be very expensive fragrances that were designed specifically to be intimate. They were meant to be very strong at first. If you was going on a date night, they were meant to be kind of like noticeable and commanding attention at first, but dissipate so that you're not too strong, but hopefully by the time that you become intimate with this partner, should that actually happen. So, not every fragrance is made the same. Expensive does not always mean extremely powerful, and higher concentration also does not equal radiance. It can, depending on the types of fragrance it is, but just making this very clear. By the way, I'm just throwing this out there. Again, I like to teach, I like to speak, and sometimes I can go really down the rabbit hole about this, but if you ask the question, I try to honor your question the best I can. So just to finish this off, higher concentration of oil does not mean it's going to be like smelling from 2 rooms away. It can, depending on the type of fragrance it is, but most of the time, eau de toilette is going to be very, very projecting, but it dissipates quickly and is gone. Eau de parfum is going to kind of be in that middle range with more longevity, and like around, again, this can be nuanced. I'm just making a generalization. But when you get to parfum concentration and higher, the more naturals and so forth, a lot of the times you're going to have something that lasts forever, in quotations, not literally, but stays a little bit closer to you, keeps a little bit of a closer wall, so it's not bleeding off of you. Again, now, there's lots of fragrances that teeter-totter around this, but that is the general concept here. Club de Nuit, Intense Man, which is the best version? For me, the Pure Parfum. Not the limited edition. For me, it is the Pure Parfum. Thanks. You're the first person to ever answer me that is also educated. I try to learn as much as I can from people I look up to and talk with you guys. So thank you, Eric, for being here. I just try to do the best. I love having you guys here as part of this community, and I try to do the best I can to communicate with y'all. Yeah, you said it correctly. You're the first white man to have pronounced my name correctly. Well, I'm very glad I was able to do that. I am going to gather around. This is a joke, by the way. I was going to say I'm going to gather around all the other pale folks, and I'm going to tell them you guys should be ashamed of yourself for not trying a little bit harder. But in all seriousness, I appreciate that. So I do try to pronounce you guys' names respectfully as much as I can. I'm sorry if I ever say anybody's names wrong. And also, I'm not really sorry, but if I ever do crack any jokes that somehow or another like mildly offend someone, please let me know. If it's like a cultural thing, I'll explain. And if there's still an issue, I might apologize, depending. Maybe not. Just purchased that Paris by Nashim. Pretty good. I had to check that out. I haven't tried that with my buddy. Do you like or wear CDM? I do not wear sillage. So I think that it is a really good take. Again, I'm not a dupe guy normally, but I do think that it was a pretty decent. It's much more synthetic, but on Silver Mountain Water, I think it's a really good take. But I don't even wear Silver Mountain Water. I love the idea of it. I love the building and I love melon, but it's not my style, so I wouldn't wear it. But I do think it was very well done, and sillage is a good replacer. Have you tried Nitro Elixir? I have not, but thank you for asking. Have you sampled Creed Oud Zardian. I have not. Can't wait to evolve through this channel with you. Well, Scott, I'm grateful for you being here. I appreciate you with all my heart. Thank you. I cannot thank you enough for being here at all. Which Blue de Chanel? Definitely the Parfum edition for me personally. Now, Olds here likes the Eau de Parfum, and that's also a good take. They're different for sure. That would be a good perk for members. What would be, Mama? I don't know what you're talking about there. Um, Parfum, yes. What fragrance from Initio do you recommend? If you were going to get one, um, I would say probably Side Effect and Oud for Greatness. Not Neo, but the original. And Paragon, I actually enjoy. What for? I hate the mint and blue bottle Eros. I have EDP, but girls still like it. I get that. For me, that's definitely gone, and it's way different in the parfum concentration. So I would say check it out. Yeah, Brandon, I tried. What's the best Oriental perfume? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm actually gonna have to get back to you on that. I know this is a cop out, but I'm probably gonna have to get back to you on that because I don't know if I'd have a perfect best one at this moment. What's up, Omar? Brother Speak, that's why we're here. Don't worry about anyone. I appreciate you so much, my friend. By the way, MP McGloin, I do want to ask you one more time. What is your actual name, so I can make sure I'm addressing you properly, if it's okay? Because I like to be able to say you guys' name, Dracar Noir. I actually do. So I wouldn't wear it, but Dracar Noir makes me happy because my dad had that when I was younger. This is a gift. Jewels are digital currency. The bundles send these gifts. When viewers send gifts using jewels, creators earn rubies, which convert into money. Huh. That's really cool. Well, thank you for letting me know about that, Eric. Yeah, I've never had a gift before. What's your top? By the way, I'm sorry that this is wobbling. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. What's your top mass appealing fragrances? Huh, good question. By the way, I am about to have to cut this off, so I just want this to be known that I'm going to have to run through these quickly. So I know I missed a lot of you guys' comments. This is literally the most comments I've ever got before, so I'm kind of struggling to keep up. And I'm super, super sorry. Um, whoopsie. How about that? That was awful. So you don't have to follow if you don't want to, because I'm not super active there. But if you guys find me on Instagram, if you use Instagram, um, you're more than welcome to do that. If you do use Instagram, Douglas Moon Fragrance, you can find me there. And just message me. If you have questions, just message me. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm great at getting back, but I try. I do respond with voice messages because I got arthritis that has developed more over time. It just hurts. A lot of physical labor over the years. So I don't like typing too much for very long, but as you know, I talk a lot. So I will send you voice messages that you can just listen to whenever you can. But find me on there and I'll get back to you. Anyway, mass appealing fragrances, Jean Paul Gaultier's La Mel Elixir or Le Parfum. Definitely, I see those as mass appealing. Bleu de Chanel Parfum, Eros, Flame, Energy, all that stuff. Dolce & Gabbana, Light Blue, Oh Intense. Um, Sauvage Eau de Parfum and Sauvage Parfum Edition, or the Eau de Toilette, honestly, is pretty good too. Um, let's see. I do like Prada Luna Rosa Ocean. I don't wear it. It's not something I would wear, but I think it's a good one. I think Homme Sport. Dior Homme Sport. Is it Dior? Chanel Allure Homme Sport. Sorry. That was one that I wouldn't wear, but I think it's a pretty good mass appealing fragrance. Thanks for the explanation. I tried, buddy. I just subscribed. Thank you, Corey Wells. I really appreciate you subscribing, man. How do you like Torino 21? Torino 21 and Torino 22 are my favorites of them all. You should ask your old lady this. Are you tired? You should because they're running through. That's a fun one. I like that, buddy. Red Tobacco does have nuclear performance, especially the Red Tobacco Intense. What do you think of Hawass Ice? So I don't like, to be honest with you, I'm not a fan of any of the Hawasses. Just throwing it out there, except for Tropical and Kind of Black. But I think I like Hawass a little. So I think that they're fun for what they are. They're just not my style. But I think that Hawass Ice is a little bit better than the original. That's just my personal opinion. Okay, Mama, I see what you're saying. Does red tobacco smell like Herod? It smells a little bit more like Carlisle to me personally. Red Tobacco Intense especially. So it's not perfectly like it. And so I normally, as a person who likes the original, reach for Herod or Carlisle. But Red Tobacco Intense is a good fragrance. I'm going to head out. Well, Hayan, have a beautiful rest of your night. I appreciate you so very much. It's my first flight as a pilot for Emirates. Dude, no way! Hey, congratulations! That's so awesome. Well, I hope you have a wonderful first flight. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll get to fly. I'll be in your plane when you fly, wherever, I don't know. Hopefully one day. Who knows? That's so awesome, and I'm happy for you. So I hope you have a beautiful sleep, my friend, and just take care of yourself. And I'll definitely remember you, buddy, and think about you. So please come back around. Have you smelt YSL myself? Absolute, I have not, but the Le Parfum I have. Maglon. Okay, cool. I like Maglon. That's awesome. Oh, my mama just joined. What about Tom Ford's? Any got your attention? Absolutely. Some of Tom Ford's are some of my favorite fragrances of all time. So Oud Wood, still love it. I don't care what anybody says. Tobacco Vanille, I love it. Black Lacquer, I've got the Ebon Fume, which again, like even my biggest like internet hero when it comes to fragrances, Aaron Terrence Hughes, he didn't really like that one, but I think it's great. It works awesome on my skin. And Oud Mineral, I don't wear it because it's not my style. Bois Pacifique that I got that came out this past year, I think that was really awesome. Um, there's a lot I don't like, but Ombre Leather Parfum is one of my absolute favorites. Tom Ford Noir Extreme, one of my favorites. I don't care as much for the Parfum. Black Orchid has really started to finally grow on me a lot more. Um, Deciding my scent of the night and Cinq Terre. My friend who HX Master, I've not tried that one. Oh, Extreme Chanel Allure. Heck yeah. What's up, Diego, my friend? Deciding on my scent of the night. I know what my scent of the night is going to be, and it's going to choke the crap out of my wife. But I've actually, I just want you guys to know that if you really do consistently expose yourself to different fragrances, your tastes can shift. And I don't mean like you should make yourself like something that you don't, but sometimes you just didn't have the chance or the right mood to appreciate something. And this little duty right here has grown on me hard. This is Tomi Iommi's, I don't know how to say it right, Tomi Iommi's Special Monkey by Xerjoff, and I love it. And I love it a lot because I gave it another chance to wear it the other day, and the way it dried down. I'm not the hugest fan of the very opening. I was wearing More Than Words the other day, but I love this one now, and I'm going to wear this one tonight for sleep, even though it's definitely way too strong. I have EDP Savage. Fantastic. What's up, Redbeard? Super happy to see you here, my friend. Woo, Jonathan. I'm super happy you came through. See, Ebon Fume lasts very good on me, but apparently not on other people. I don't know what it is, and it could be a quality control issue. I've been wanting to put my nose on some hard candy elixir. Very funny you should say that because a buddy of mine, a super kind person on here, is actually sending me a little sample of that, and it might be coming in the mail tomorrow, and I can't wait because so ATH Aaron Terrence Hughes is Unicorn Elixir, which I cannot thank my mom enough for having got me. It's like one of my favorite things in the universe now. Super powerful. Unicorn Elixir, Athena, Belle de Nuit, and then Athena Plus. Those are the only ones I've got to try so far of Aaron Terrence Hughes, but they are, in fact, magnifyingly amazing. Thanks for the wishes. Hope to see you on my flight. Hey, I hope I can one day. And you know what? If I ever do get to come out that way, where do you? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to tell me specifically exactly where. But Hyan, what country or region are you from? Because yeah, definitely, if me and my wife were ever out that way, if we ever get a chance to visit that way, I'd love to meet you and go fragrance shopping, my buddy. And please find me on Instagram, message me, and I'd love to keep up with you. But very seriously, congratulations on your first flight tomorrow. Very polarizing. You're absolutely correct, Diego. It is very polarizing. Still rocking ice. I love it. Hey, I'm glad you love it, buddy. Mascara Silver Blue? I'm not sure, buddy. I haven't tried Silver Blue just yet. Douglas, top 5 rose fragrances? Very good question. Terra Hermes started to grow on me. Any alternative you suggest? Jason, I'm not entirely sure. So ATH is definitely worth the money. Oh, my personal experience so far couldn't even be more worth the money. Like, again, I know people want to hate on the guy so bad. That's fine. Different personalities. There's people who probably don't like me. I hope not, but maybe one day there will be a Reddit trashing me. There might be one right now. I don't know. No, there's not. I looked. I know. Pathetic as it is, I've looked. But with all that crap said, absolutely, like, performance, smells, beautiful, incredible. I love them. Everyone that I've gotten from the cheaper all the way to the most expensive, I love his work. It isn't just because he inspires me. It isn't just because he's the reason that I started doing this myself last year. I generally love everything that I've smelled of his so far. And I cannot wait to smell Hard Candy Elixir. As for alternatives to Terre d'Hermes, I'm not entirely sure. I'm getting tired, so I'm gonna yield to other people. But as far as like my 5 favorite roses, I'm gonna say Radical Rose. I can't remember the name of the house. Matière, Pierre, whatever it is. But Radical Rose Extrait de Parfum just blew my mind the other day. I love that one so much. Aaron Terrence Hughes' Athena and Belle de Nuit. Those are some of my favorite. Rose Incense. Definitely Toy Boy's Machino's Toy Boy. I kind of do think of even definitely Aaron Terrence Hughes' Unicorn Elixir, 100% because it's got a high concentration of rose, 25% rose absolute. I would say More Than Words by Zerjoff is fantastic. There's a lot of really good rose fragrances out there, to be honest with you. Scott O'Brien, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your night. How do I become a moderator? I'll show you how, just like this. Boop. And you're absolutely correct. Different strokes for different folks. But I am now going to be. I definitely want to follow you on IG. Hey, you're more than welcome to do so, my friend. I'm originally from Pakistan. Now I live in Dubai because of my job. I'll mostly be operating Dubai to Bangkok and Manila flight. Well, that's awesome, dude. Hopefully, I get to come see you someday. And any of you guys, like I said, follow me on Instagram or just come hang out and message me. It's totally cool. Again, I'm not gonna just be like mega responsive because I do got family and stuff, but I will get back to you when I can. So feel free. I'm not like crazy active on there, but I'm trying to like post. I know that's a part of something you're supposed to do. I just don't care too much for social media. So anyway, the OG Hawass 2 Bubble Gummy. Absolutely, Diego. I totally get what you're saying. Best woody, sweet, manly fragrance. Actually, so this isn't like the best, but this is one that's absolutely fantastic. Not like the world's craziest performer, but it's awesome. Joe Malone's Cypress and Grapevine. It's a cologne intense, but it actually does really well. I love it. Very, very great. So, just throwing this out there. I'm not pushing a particular belief system or anything like that. Not pushing anything in a certain way to be disrespectful. But I am a person who definitely loves to pray. I believe in God. So again, if you don't believe in God or what have you, that's totally your choice. That's fine. But at the end of every stream, with all the respect in the world, for every different belief system and walk of life, whether you believe in something, Hindu, Buddhist, Muslim, atheist, Christian, it doesn't matter to me. Whatever your thing is, I like to pray at the end of my streams for everybody who came through, just out of love and respect. So if you want to comment while I do that, that's fine. If you want to bow your head and join in, that's cool too. Because like I said, it's open for everybody. It's just what I do. If you're new here, just letting you know, because that's the way that I am. So if you got a problem with that, that's okay. Whatever. You don't have to be here. Hey, do you and your fam have a blessed night? Hey, you too, buddy. I really am glad to meet you, and my mom is definitely probably happy to meet you too here, and I appreciate you guys so much. So I'm about to go ahead and do that prayer real quick, and then I'm going to end the stream. Thank you guys so much for having been here. Real quick though, before I do that, now I'm going to pray real fast, and then I'll say this. So, dear God, thank you so much for this awesome day. Thank you so much for this incredible time I got to have with these people doing this stream. It has meant the world to me to get to meet these folks the way that I have. I hope to meet them in person one day. Thank you for perfumery and just this wonderful art and creativity that we get to experience and the beautiful senses that you gave us. And I just love you with all my heart, God, and I thank you so much for every single one of these people here. And no matter who they are, what they believe, or where they come from, I pray that they just understand that they have so much value and purpose in their very existence in their life. And I just hope they know they're not meaningless. And I don't know what they've been going through, but I pray that they just get to know your blessing in their life and they get to see how much value they really have. And that their story is far, far, far from over. And that every day is a new opportunity, God, to just make changes and see something different happen. And so I just lift everything up to you, God, in your name and pray for all these people. Amen. So thank you guys so much for coming through. It really means a lot to me. And just want to throw this out there. If you do want to support the channel, I'm never going to ask you for your money. I have appreciated when you guys have sent me super chats, by the way. I just want you to know. Thank you so very much. Because turns out, so I don't actually get paid until you get $100. I'm not asking for money. Just want to make that very clear. I'm just telling you guys how YouTube works. So apparently, until you hit $100 threshold, YouTube won't pay you. So I just keep looking at the money that has been sent to me sitting there for like the past 2 months, and it's just been funny to me because I'm like, hey, at least I got sent something. One of these days I'm going to get it. But I'm just throwing this out there. For you guys who have sent me something, I appreciate you with all my heart, but I don't need you guys to do that. If you want to support me, there's one thing I need you to do, and that's pretty simple. If you enjoy this time together and you would like to see my channel continue to grow, all I need you to do is go watch my reviews. I got a new one coming out this Thursday night. Again, I asked you guys if Wednesday night or Thursday works better for you. Those are the two peak post nights. A lot of you guys said Wednesday. Some of you guys also said Thursday. It was kind of like almost an even chunk, but more Wednesday. But this week I'm going to try Thursday to see how that goes. So this Thursday night, Eastern Standard Time, I think around 7 p.m. is when I'm going to be posting this one. I'm not going to tell you which one I'm doing this week just yet. Or should I? Yeah, okay. I'm going to be doing an actual review of Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Paradise Garden. So I did Le Parfum last year. This one's going to be Paradise Garden, like an actual in-depth review. 2 weeks ago, before Aaron Terrence Hughes' Unicorn review, I did The Hawaii's Tropical did a comparison, but this Thursday is going to be the original LeBeau Paradise Garden. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. Really getting into it. And yeah, then after that actually is going to be this bad boy, Special Monkey. I got a review for that already filmed. So thank you guys so very much for taking the time to come through. I appreciate y'all with all my heart. It means the world to me that you came in here and are just taking the time to be with me. So if you want to support me between now and then, especially because of you guys, just throwing this out there, because there's only 26 people watching now, so I don't think it's a problem for me to say this. But because of you guys, because YouTube gave me a hard time for a long, they even sent me a silver plaque. If you're new here, I just want to explain this. YouTube's a very strange place. They sent me a verified, like they verified my subscribers are real people and so forth. And they sent me my silver play button with my name on it. If you don't believe me, by the way, somebody called this fake the other day. I can hold it up in front of the camera and show you my name on it. As a matter of fact, nobody asked, but I'll do that right now. Literally right there, Douglas Moon Fragrance, 100,000 subscribers. So I got that bad boy. Not bragging, I'm just showing you guys. I got that, but they still were not giving me credit for 9,300 hours of watch time. It took a lot of live streaming. It took 81 live streams in 3.5 months of you guys watching for me to finally get my freaking hours approved. And now, as of yesterday morning, because of you guys, I am now getting paid for all my videos for Google Ads. Don't get me wrong now. Every view ever from the, like for instance, my Zerjoff Naxis video has 70,000 views. Oh, how nice it would have been if my ads were on for that. But unfortunately, I don't get any of that. But as of yesterday, I have so far made a whopping $3. That's cool. Turns out, every 1,000 views, you get a certain amount. So that's, I can understand now why creators were like hoping to get 1,000,000 views, because you want like, basically you need 1,000,000 views to make $1,000 to $2,000. So like to make a livable wage in the South or the United States, you need like 2,000,000 views or 1,000,000 views or whatever. So I get that. But either way, this is never going to probably be my full-time job or what have you. But I do love that I get to do this, and it's awesome that I get to make any money doing this. So to you guys who sent me super chats or this membership thing, I just want to tell you thank you from the bottom of my heart that you felt compelled to do that, because that's really crazy to me. It's really awesome. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for being here. But if you really want to support the videos, please go watch. Watch them as long as you're willing to watch them. Let the ads play or whatever. I know it's annoying as crap, but please do it if they have ads. If you're premium, I still get paid for that too for some reason. But now that I'm finally getting paid for YouTube ads as of yesterday because of you guys, please just go watch my videos, and that's all I ask. Watch them, hit the like button, and comment on them, and share them if you're willing to do that, because that's what helps my channel continue to grow, is you guys not just coming to these streams, but you guys watching my reviews. So I appreciate y'all. And then Thursday night, get ready for a new review. If you want to go see my other ones, go check those out. And Stronger With You, absolutely. I do like it, but it's my least favorite of the bunch. Stronger With You, Parfum's my favorite, and then the Sandalwood, then Intensely, and then the Absolutely. But it is a great fragrance. But yeah, so I'm about to sign off here. Again, Douglas Moon Fragrance. I appreciate you guys so much for your time, your energy. And yeah, if you've got time tonight, just go watch. They're short videos, and I'm working on making them shorter. They're anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes long, but I'm trying to start getting them around that 5 to 7 minute range, so it's a little more palatable. But yeah, definitely please just go check them out, comment, and hit the like button. Don't forget to hit that like button. That helps a lot. So YouTube will continue to give me like 2 cents. I need that 2 cents. Without that 2 cents, how am I going to buy another Zerjoff fragrance if you guys don't watch my videos and help me get that 2 cents? But seriously, thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. I hope you guys all have a beautiful rest of your night. And please don't be hesitant to message me on Instagram. Just say what's up. And if you're ever going through anything and maybe you just feel kind of alone, like you don't have too many people, I don't know you guys' personal situation, if you don't have too many people in your personal life you feel comfortable talking to, or maybe sometimes you just want to talk to a stranger, I get that. So yeah, feel free to, just, message me. Nothing's ever too hefty. I might not have great advice or be the best at being able to help you, but if I do see your message and I get back to you, I will give you my sincerest attention when I can, because I know what it's like. So just want to throw that out there. But anyway, it's been fantastic hanging out with you guys tonight. I hope y'all, I don't know if y'all had dinner or not just yet, but I have, and I brushed my teeth so I feel nice and clean. So I'm going to have a good rest of my evening chilling and watching. Me and my wife just started watching the Alien series, so we went and saw Alien. Like I said, we watch movies all the time. We go to theaters all the time because we got the AMC premium thingy or whatever, and love going to the movies. We saw Alien Romulus this last year, and it was my first Alien movie I had ever seen. So we went back and watched Prometheus, then we watched Covenant, and then now we're watching the original Alien from 1978. So I'm very excited to be going through it. I really like these movies. They're pretty fun. I used to be much more fantasy, but now I'm getting into the sci-fi stuff. I loved Star Wars as a kid. That's kind of the extent of it. I was much more into adventure movies like Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, The Mummy, but really getting into this other stuff. I love you too, Mama. Well, I hope you guys have a great time. Dinner has been eaten. Well, fantastic, my friend. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So, you guys have a beautiful rest of your night. I love you, Mama. I love you all you guys, and I'll